Hey YouTube, welcome to another Valkyrie Connect video. In this video, we'll be going over a few controversies that I've been having in my head, and I want to discuss it with Twinny and Zombie Rabbit. And if, how you say, if anyone has any statements or comments, you can just post it in the comment below. I'll try to reply as soon as possible. But without any further ado, let's get started. Twinny and Zombie, if you can let me know what your thoughts are about the new mechanics such as the fruits as well as the contents coming in, like the crystals that rotate daily, Coliseum, Collab, and the holiday events. How would you as a new player handle this, and how would you as a veteran player handle it as well? Do you think that they're introducing too many things at once without having the quality of life or polishing of the older content keep up with everything new that's coming in? And Twinny, if you want to start.
Sure. Firstly, with all these new consoles, because of course it's right after collab as well. I personally found the collab really interesting, and I quite like it. But because of all of this, and it's always right after another, like you had collab, Valentine, farming. Now you have a bunch of connects, and then also a new Coliseum team with the New Year, like the Chinese New Year one. It's right after one another. So normally you always had like a buffer time of a week. Like last year or something like that, where you had like a buffer connect. There's only one or two connects that were going on in between those massive big events. And because of that, you could basically have a cooldown time between events where you could farm really hard, and then you have a little bit of chill time, so you recharge a little bit in order to farm back again. Now the cooldown time in between different events is gone. So it's one event after another. So you basically have to sacrifice events or choose your time wisely as a new player. Should I invest in Connect X, or shall I invest in Coliseum or something like that, or my units? Because it's really difficult if you're new to have the resources, the units orbed, the items leveled to do well in both of them. In all these Connects, in all these Coliseums, and able to farm crystal attacks. For me, I think that's impossible if you're free to play. Even for pay-to-play players, it's quite a challenge to do all of that. And that's without taking the account of time spent playing the game. In order to do all this content and keep up with it and not miss anything, you have to spend a significant amount of time. And that amount of time is much, much greater than how it was. And I do get some complaints or slash statements from people that are a little bit tired from all this farming, because they don't want they get the feeling of if I don't farm, I will miss out, and so they're forced to farm. However, now they're pressured with farming it, and then after a while you get another event, and they have the same sentiment, right? And if this keeps up, people will reach a point where they're just gonna say, "Oh, well, I don't give." I won't care anymore, and they will just keep on dropping, and that might be dangerous.
And you know, another thing that you brought up about the new player having to catch up and use their resources wisely. Not only do you have the crystals, right, the collaboration, Coliseum, all that, you also have orbing increase, right? It's times 7.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
you have to prioritize that as well, and it's difficult because as a new player, when I first started, I remember you guys telling me, you know, make sure you farm your connect tokens to get bangles, make sure you orb, make sure you get your hero quests in to promote. It's how can how can you get that many stamina in one day without spending money, you know?
And I fully agree.
And what about you, Zombie? What do you think about the upcoming things coming out, even units as well?
They're rushing way too much fast.
I agree.
That's all I can say. It's like I'm trying to farm multiple things at the same time. I just finished up Offner. I'm 5, but it took me about I don't know how many appearances, like maybe the 10th appearance. Is it the 10th time he showed up?
Well, I don't know. 10 seems a little bit much, but you might be close.
Yeah, it just took me until now to get it, because when he popped up last time, it was also during an event which I had to prioritize this,
exactly,
this connect or that connect, and like currently he's 630 stam, but last time he was 60 stam, so I had to go for the cheaper other connect for the event. Like I just got him to 5 now, and with all these new units released, I don't see a place for him. So it's like kind of hard for me to actually justify building him now and Besla, because with all these units coming out, that just counter them.
Yeah, I think that is another thing too. When with the transition, because I think I mentioned it in the podcast before, is that we're in a transition where you have your units from the original, release of the game where there's one effect, blah 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 blah, and then the newer units coming out now where they have multi effects, they're hitting multiple units at once. They have a passive, they have good synergy as well with other units, and it makes the older ones seem obsolete, right? Even with Awakening, they're picking units that I think they can wait on being awakened versus units they can choose to increase playability, even if it's just in the PvE aspect of the game.
Yes.
I mean, how many people said that, hey, I use Sigurd for Marmalade? You don't, right? Because he's not viable in anything. And it's really sad because there's so much variety in the game that they should really polish up on that instead of thinking about the financial aspect where they can monetize and take advantage of newer units, newer gear to get players to buy stuff. Because as a veteran player too, you do get to a point where you feel burnt out when you get caught up. Let's just say you get wing boots, eater bolt, and all that other stuff, and you get yourself level 50 on those items, give them 5-star, blah blah, and then a new set of gear comes out, and those, I wouldn't say they're devalued, but you feel like you have to get those as well to stay on top,
Yeah.
And I think that's an issue with Frey coming out, not also being out, and then you have the release with Atoshia coming out. You already see players preparing for those units, but then at the same time with new content coming out, they go like, dang it, man, I have to spend diamonds now because you're dumb not to do this banner. You really are.
Yep.
Like the 2018 gear banner, right? Every third pull is the guaranteed gear party. You're dumb not to do that. You really are. I mean, if you don't have if you feel like you can be okay without it and you're content where you are in the game, sure. But those people trying to push for Ragnarok, they're trying to push for top in the arena bracket, having wing boots is a huge deal. And then Ragnarok, you have Saint Sickle. You want to get that. Not everyone can do Ragnarok, and people who can, they still have to invest a lot.
Yeah.
If we had Devil here, he could explain how he did Rag with minimum units, because I don't think he has any gear party gear, but he was still able to get him to 5.
There's a guy that I'm part of the Vietnamese Valkyrie Connect community on Facebook, and there's a guy, he did Rag with like Balder as the healer. And so it's definitely doable. And it's not just the units. He wanted to show players that you can do it without the, ultra premium units that you see. Of course, he had Awakened Verdandi on his team, but getting Awakened Verdandi is much easier than trying to get a full team of like Awakened Skuld, Awakened Odin, Awakened Verdandi, or all that. It's more difficult to get those units all together, right? Than just one Awakened unit. So, I mean, it is doable, don't get me wrong, but does it make it easier? No, you're going to struggle, just like when I had to do Anger Bodo with Balder.
No, that also... what was it? Well, with the Rag, Verdandi, like, you can get Skuld easily awakened, but Odin, it all depends on your star party luck.
Correct. And that's another thing, too, is even if you have the unit, the first step is to getting the item or the unit, right? And that comes with using diamonds, that comes with luck. Even if that is a step pull, you still have a small pool of units where you're hoping for the unit that you want. And that usually the unit that you want, it's not, the RNG is not split evenly. Odin, if let's just say you have Odin, Verdandi, Frey, and I don't know, Material, right? They're not all 25% pull rate when you get to the third step or whatever step to guarantee them. Odin's probably 5%, and the rest are like a little bit higher, right? You're not going to get the even distribution on RNG, just like with Chun-Li and Cammy. Chun-Li is not 50-50 chance. Chun-Li is the rare one.
Yeah.
So RNG is RNG, sure. But what I'm trying to say is that once you get the unit, then you have to grind out to invest in the unit to awaken them. Then you have to do the post-awakening leveling. So there's so much investment you have to go through in one unit versus having, using the resources that you have and seeing what you can do with that resource. And maybe you can get a pre-made to help carry you, kind of. But
Yeah.
I mean, as a free-to-play / casual, not hardcore whale, it really makes it difficult, because it's already difficult for the whales, because it's not the financial aspect of it, it's the time.
Yeah,
Not everything.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, not everything stays
Time
for like 2
intensive, yeah.
weeks. Correct.
It's not really financial too. It's more like RNG. Like either you get lucky or you don't get lucky.
Correct. Even then, for Akuma, for example, right, I was farming him, and his souls weren't dropping as often as I like. I ended up spending, I think, double the amount you should just to get him up, and it's annoying. I mean, I got a lot of other things as well, right? I was able to get his essence. I was able to get more Connect tokens. That's pretty cool. But the fact is that I think they should have a fail-safe type mechanic, just like with the summon currently out, the Lucky Summon. There's a fail-safe. After a certain amount, you will get the tokens to be able to purchase from the trader what you want.
Yeah.
That's a good fail-safe mechanic. In Tower, what they could introduce is that after level 100, you can every 10 fights, if you don't get a chest by then, you're guaranteed one for that floor. So it keeps you from going through like 6-7 floors without having a chest. It's actually annoying, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So
Speak for yourself. I do this. I get chests pretty fast, but I have Frey, and I just face roll the map.
sure, but not everyone has that
unit,
luxury.
yeah.
Correct. Not everyone has that luxury. So you have to see it in the perspective of a player who doesn't have all of these premium units. They start struggling around probably floor 200-300 maybe. I'm not sure. And
350 upwards is, if you're a really old veteran, then that's free to play. I think around 350 is where it starts.
yeah, so of course you want to get those chests as much as you can, and I think having a good backup, like, okay, at least I know that when I go through 3 full floors, I'll get my 3 chests, instead of saying I'm hoping the next fight gives me a chest.
Yeah.
And
Well, there's also this part where they just added Star Pendant and Gale Sight into the
yeah, Aether Tear and all
on
that.
there.
Correct.
which makes it like grinding up floors more priority than getting chests.
Sure,
'Cause-
unless you're a player who needs the Valhalla items.
No,
But I think-
but at the same time, you need Star Pendant for most of your mages, rangers, or melee that need it. That, and you're guaranteed 800 tokens at every floor, the end of every floor, instead of relying on RNG chests.
Sure, I agree with that. But as I said, I mean, there's so many ways they can polish up the game to improve it. Even just small changes will make a big difference in a player's life, right? For example, the gear thing. They consider
slots,
that one
yeah.
of their smaller changes, because it was a big. I remember that being a big update, and gear changing was like the biggest thing players wanted. And I mean, because imagine if you didn't have that and all this content came out. I don't think I'll be playing the game, honestly. I can't have a Coliseum team and an arena team, and then the Connect and then the Crystal, constantly swapping out my gear is annoying.
Yeah.
And then Guild Wars.
In like the old days when we only had one, what I used to do is just use the Connect gear in my arena,
Yeah,
because I can't be bothered changing it up every time I want to do the Connect.
it got so
Yeah.
bad that sometimes I would use my arena team in the Connect. Like
Yeah, or like that. Yeah, or vice. Yeah, or the other way around.
because you're scared someone's gonna snipe you. It's dumb, because there are players that wait to see that power score dip, and then they attack you. I'm like, oh my god.
I don't wait. I just hit. I fight.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I just fight. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, oh well, whatever.
No, that I can theory craft if I lose, so I can figure out.
That's
what
what I
can do.
enjoy. That's what I enjoy about the game, is the theory crafting. That's what's keeping me in the game the most, is that it's a very easy to learn game in terms of like understanding the basics. You give the units gear, you put units together, make a team, and you fight. But then when you add in the factors of CC, counter, resistance, effect synergy, item synergy, gear slotting, it's a pretty fun game.
But Theorycraft can only carry you so far. If they release units that have such a high power baseline, then it becomes increasingly difficult for you to theory craft against it without having access to powerful units as well.
Like
Yeah,
the team.
yeah.
Like here's
Yeah,
the
like-
team: Frey, Ragnarok, Not, and Alice on the same
Yeah.
team.
Oh, I beat that. I beat that with Luca, Frey, Boda.
Yeah, see,
Noah,
like that's what
and
I'm
Alice.
saying. If you have access to the same amount of units and then swapping off certain items, yeah,
Sure.
then you
That's-
have theory craft possibilities. But let's
Yeah,
say if you don't have Null, if you don't have Frey, if you don't have Matisse, okay, Matisse is quite accessible now, but if you don't have those and you have to do with normal diamond pool units, for instance, and then it's really
It's
difficult.
very difficult, correct. That's one thing too, is that when you say like things are easy, you have to put it into perspective that you're not the average player. You're definitely well above the average player, right? I think all three of us here are well above the average player, because I get people messaging me all the time, and I mean, trust me, just think of the most average person you know, and then know that half the population is him and worse. So you have to see in that regard, not everyone has the ability to have all of these units or the luck or anything like that. You have to consider that even if they have the units, look at what their gear level average is. Most of them are sitting around gear level like 30, 35. That's nothing.
Yeah.
So
That, and they don't level the gear. And,
correct. They don't understand the priority of gear leveling. Gear leveling is huge.
And it gives you free stats. So
Speaking of stats, the fruits. What? Okay, let's just say Atoshia is out 20. Would you use all your fruits on Atoshia, or would you split it up?
I would first see how well she does, and where the meta is heading. Because if it's not front busting, then I could probably use the fruits on a DPS unit, or split it up and using it for defensive stats on Etosia, and then focus on the DPS unit. So it will depend. It also depends on if the DPS unit is a meta. Do I have that unit?
I feel
If
like
I don't, sorry.
Go ahead.
If I don't have the OP, like for example, if Freyo Node is like really meta, then, and I don't have those, then yeah, I would probably hold on or use it on Antosha if I need it.
I feel like you're gonna use your fruits and get Atoshia gets evasion, accuracy, and attack.
I'm gonna be sad if that happens.
No, she does DPS though, so at least the attack has some.
okay, true.
Yeah, it'll warrant that, but I don't think that. I don't know. I think it's good. I actually think it's good that the fruits are RNG. I know it sounds weird that I would prefer RNG in something, but if I do, I would prefer it in the fruits, because if so, everybody would just literally, Luca HP, magic defense. Or
yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
Having a little bit RNG is good, but too much RNG just makes it seem like you're in a casino all the time.
But it's fixed though.
I wish it didn't cost 500 soul tokens to get.
Oh my
one
god,
for...
yeah, don't. Dude, I'm so glad that I have the amount of mana that I do currently, because I'm going to get around like 20,000 souls, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I actually bought 4 or 5 fruits, and I'm down to my last 500 souls.
Oh wow,
Dang.
you buy fruits with soul?
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
I would. Yeah, I don't have that many souls, but because I always keep.
I'm 2% off from a max spray, so I kind of need.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't really need anything else from the Soul Trader right now, besides the fruits. I mean, obviously, when they come out with new units and the X comes out.
If Summer Erd was in it, you wouldn't buy it?
I have Summer Erd.
Oh, well, yeah, you.
Yeah, she's max. I don't have Summer Luca, and that's what I want. I actually have Luca. Like Summer, if Summer Luca does appear, I do have a reserve soul.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do.
Yeah, I want her for.
So
waifu
I have
status.
2K souls stashed up just for that.
Yeah, but I want her for waifu status, right? I have no practical use for her.
Well, I just find it nice to have, and maybe in the rare scenario where you can use her, because she's water and freezes backline. She's Acer though, but
Maybe Summer Erd? I use her in a Coliseum right now. She's pretty legit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use her
because
with...
I see. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I see a lot of no ranger teams.
Yeah, I see a bunch. Everyone's running water because they're expecting Niji to be the tank. But I think outside of that, I think the introduction of the fruits added another dimension to the game where it's good, but it's also bad. It's good in the sense that it allows you to progress, you know, your 5-star units even further, and it adds that little edge in arena because it does make a big difference. The disadvantage of that, we spoke about it before the podcast, is new players being overwhelmed with not only content but in-game mechanics. They have orbing, promotion, fruits, awakening, as well as understanding gear slotting, right? Just for a unit. Yeah. And then they have to understand from gear slotting, are the units that you're using on the team synergizing correctly, right? You're not going to put all your Valhalla staves on slot 2 in one team. It makes no sense. You want to stagger. Or like you're not going to put, you know, Confuse plus Petrify CC on one slot and then it procs to one target. So they have to understand synergy. They have to understand also unit ability synergy. And I think with that, they as a company, it would be nice if even they themselves put out some videos to help newer players.
Yeah, that's true. Japanese just does new releases, updated content.
Correct.
But global does not.
Because we fail.
No, because we have Hakio to release that content for them.
Hakeo is driving 4 hours back and forth from work every day, and he gets really tired. I'm trying to get back into the groove of things. It's just been difficult due to training and everything. So
yeah,
but that's fine.
Other than that, I mean, I've been pulling though, and I got Knot. I think I showed you guys. It's been like the happiest pull I've had this year. Yeah.
Pretty jealous.
Yeah. I got Knot too, and she's
really jealous.
I dropped like 80 crystal keys to get her a 5-star as soon as possible.
Yeah, I would do the same.
It was
Wait,
really
did you
nice.
buy the crystal keys or did you earn them like I did?
I earned them. I have never, actually Knot was the first time I've ever used a crystal key. I've never used any crystal keys prior to that, and I spent all of my Chinese New Year's on getting crystal keys. So that's how I was able to 5-star her. I've never bought a crystal key.
What if you got Frey in a couple days?
Then that's when I buy crystal keys. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Wow.
Frey is legit. I mean, what do you want me to say? She's not legit and I'm not gonna jump on the bandwagon? No, man, I got rank 1 to get.
Yeah, you want to get that rank 1.
Do you know a player named Kalmu Hard?
Yeah.
Okay, so his team is legit. I mean, he's got Frey as the tank.
Note.
Yeah, Rag.
Voda, Noah, Alice.
Man, it's insane. He's
Rag. Yeah, sorry.
Rag.
No, it's Rag. Yeah.
Correct. It's Rag, and he's in the same bracket as my friend Kazero, and they both fight for top like 1 and 2. So it's pretty cool. And I think that's a very interesting setup too, because it's a ballsy setup, right? It comes out of the standard like tank and then XXX units. Him using Frey as the quote unquote tank, as well as his Ragnarok, I believe, is his tank for Magic Snipe. It's a really interesting setup, and I mean, I think that type of creativity is needed in the community as well. Doing things that players don't really see.
I've seen Frey
often.
tanks before. I've seen Frey tank with Rangrid.
Yes, I've seen those as well, but how often do you see them, right? Everyone just follows the copy paste like one.
Rangrid is Ruby. How do you? I don't think many people have.
Shit, I was actually debating on buying the Ruby packs, all of them. I'm not though. Don't worry, I'm not. I gotta save my money. Unless Frey comes out or Etoshia.
But Frey will come out with Etoshia.
Yeah. I know. I saw the upcoming banner for it.
If they don't change things, because it's always possible.
Yeah, like how they scrapped AOT on us. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
That's my chance at Valpurga.
Hey, Boda's still relevant.
Yeah.
Boda will still be relevant because the AOT hasn't come out.
That's true.
And Evangelion
Ew.
collab.
Evangelion.
Yeah.
You saw the Evangelion units? They're pretty legit.
They're pretty nice. Yeah, Ray gets Awakening.
Yeah. Is it
Wait,
Ray?
was it Ray?
Is it Ray or
Ray, the
Oscar?
tank.
No.
Both.
No, those are Valkyrie units. Those are like the Valkyrie queue. That's not Awakening, is it?
I'm pretty sure the regular Ray.
One of them is getting awakened. I don't
I thought
remember
two.
which.
Asuka is getting awakened, 100% certain.
Yeah, Oscar.
And I'm pretty sure that Ray
yeah, the
got
Racer
Awakening
outfit.
as well.
Yeah, the Racer Girl outfit.
Yeah. Two
Was
units
that-
get Awakening, and then those 2 units get Valkyrie versions as well.
Add more Valkyries into the game, right? That's what the title is.
Granted, Asuka and Ray are the Ruby heroes. Essentially reskinned Ruby heroes.
You mean the Valkyrie version or the...
Valkyrie versions, yeah.
Yeah, I
Correct.
agree.
Are you guys gonna be wailing on that collab, or you're just gonna?
I don't
do
wail
it,
anyway, but
Well, okay. Are you
I
going
will
to be
try
going
to
ham?
pull.
Are you gonna be going ham on that collab?
I'm
For
just
Ray?
gonna say,
I hope I get Ray.
Are you
I
gonna be
don't mind
farming
if I
Ymir?
don't get anything else.
wait, what did Ray do? Let's just see.
I hope I get Ray.
Are you gonna be farming Ymir?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's pretty nice.
He's silenced to
Yeah.
AoE silenced.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
But he's Acer, no? Or
uh,
Beast.
I'm
What is
not
he?
really sure.
I
Is
don't
his
know
race?
what. I really
He
hope
doesn't show
he's.
his race.
I really hope he's a beast,
Let me-
just to go in, like a theme with the Evangelion stuff. new
but
race
it looks
alien.
like he's an angel. He's
I'll look
remember, he's an
at it
angel.
right
He's
now.
a 13th, Eva 13 Ymir. Elves,
It doesn't
Fairy,
say.
and- yeah, not yet. We know for sure the rest are human.
You find out
But
he's
he
human.
CC's Jotun, so I'm not sure if he's the Jotun himself.
He CCs himself.
Yeah, so that's strange.
Silence himself.
Well, at least
But
it's
maybe
hummable unit.
I'm definitely going to be doing the step ups for all the Evangelions. They look really good.
all of them, or
He's
would
gonna
say-
get all of them.
I'm going
Damn.
to attempt to get all of them. Is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Just like what I did for SF Collab, and I never got evil.
Oh man, don't tell me about it. I tried so hard for Chun-Li, and I was hoping to get Evil Ryu along the way, and I didn't get it. I didn't even attempt to pull for Karen no Ken.
but you got Chun-Li?
No, I got a 5-star Cammy.
Oh my god, feels bad.
I got a 5-star Karen on the
Yeah,
first day.
I've spent so much diamonds trying to get Chun-Li.
I got Karen as well, I didn't get Ken.
Yeah, I can encounter him, but whatever. I just wanted evil Ryu.
Evil Ryu would be legit. I had to make do with
You-
having Akuma in his essence.
He's essentially a good Zato with Brand. He targets
And he
the
opens
lowest.
with he quicks, doesn't he? Himself.
Yeah, he opens with
Yeah.
quick, and
I thought-
he bumps
yeah.
up himself and punches you in the face, and you get
Yeah.
branded.
It's insane.
Yeah,
I wonder.
he's
I
really
have yet to see a player use him in my arena bracket though.
Same.
I have
Yes.
over here.
Yeah, he is
He-
pretty
he's-
PvP viable.
Yeah. The team I fought that had him is Luca, Frey, and Evil Ryu, but it's Frey did all the CC, and then Evil Ryu just kills Frey.
That's crazy. Can you imagine your unit is about to like get regened off of Erd, and Evil Ryu just takes the drop on them and they die. It's
Boom.
crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, just boom. I don't know. Like I said, I like the creativity in terms of. I wouldn't say creativity. It's less of that and more of. I like that they're taking a direction where they're adding more dimensions to the game, but I think they should slow it down. I mean,
Yeah.
think about a year from now what they would have introduced, and then let's just say you just started the game a year from now. How would you handle all the things that they've introduced? It's unreasonable to expect people to understand it.
Granted, they got into the game when it's figured out, like, whereas veteran players, we have to slowly adapt to it.
Correct, and that's the issue with newer players is that there's not really a good transition into the game. Sure, you get your diamonds, you get your bunch of stamina initially to like, test the waters, but that doesn't equate to understanding the game. It just means you've just done a lot of content and you don't even know what the hell is going on.
Yeah. I just rush everything. I only do the stuff.
Yeah, but you
that
can rush
Zombie.
it. That's the thing.
That zombie, you're
I just look at everything first.
You're
I just look at
above
everything
that.
first and prioritize.
Correct, but if you're a new player, how do you know what to prioritize? Right? When I first started the game, I didn't even know what a connect battle was. I actually didn't even know they had mechanics until I brought in all melees with Harugner. And then my guild leader at the time is like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
Oh, I do all my other connects.
I told him I always use this team on all the connects. I thought the only difference was that I just get a new unit. And he was like, "No, they have mechanics." I'm like, "What?" So, I mean,
once you fight Rag, you're not gonna have that.
I'm gonna shoot for Rag definitely. I want to 5-star him.
You have to use this?
I have the units. I just need to level the gear.
Minimum level 40 at least on everything.
I'm shooting for level cap on everything.
Oh wow.
That's still gonna be hard. Do you have Awakened Odin?
No, I'm doing multis with my buddies that have Awakened Odin. I'm using Yorm again.
Oh, what?
Oh, you're just gonna get carried. I'm doing it solo. I'm doing it by myself.
I'm not cool like you, zombie. I don't have the RNG of Odin. Okay, I've been trying for Odin since I don't even remember.
Nah, you don't really need Odin. You just need Sif with her costume.
I don't have Sif.
Yeah. Yes, obviously we do play mortals. We don't have.
Us peasants cannot stand up to you, zombie. We don't have
to
these...
use Skull Norn.
Do you at least have a costume at 5?
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, do you at least have her costume at 5, just in case you get her?
I have her costume, yes. I can 5-star her costume. Sif. Yeah.
Alright.
Correct. Yeah, I can definitely get her. Get her costume to 5-star. I just don't have her.
A legit strat is to have two Eclipse units in front of Sif, so when she skills off, the 2 units in front are protected by dark damage reduction barrier and light counterattack. And because Ragnarok does gravity, it just makes them attack. They don't lose their stack.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do what I can. I'll try to I'll try to talk to my friends again and see what I can do. The thing is that I am going to constantly attempt for Odin because I do want to awaken him, and I obviously would prefer it if I had him for Ragnarok, because if I do get him for Ragnarok, then I won't really be the carry, right? I'll kind of be sort of equal, maybe lower than my friends.
No, if your friends have Saint Sickles, 2 of them, and hell, Norn works too.
I'm using Materia as my tank, with Norn and Awakened Scold as the melees.
And you have Erd.
Yes, I have Erd, finally.
Now you just need someone with Eclipse and Mage.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
Sorry. Work in progress. And I actually don't expect to be ready by the next rag, probably the one after that, because I'm still
maybe when level 70 is released.
Level 70 with 5 new gear slots.
Well, once the new elf tank comes out, we can just auto rag.
She is so good. I can't wait.
One of the only tanks with Eclipse.
Is she positioned in front of Skald?
Yeah.
She is a tank. Yeah, she's going to be considered like an actual tank.
Because at the moment I'm planning on using Awakened Skald, Norn, Awaken for Dandy, Erd, and Awaken Odin.
This is what you should do. Use Brunhild and regret your decision.
Oh, she's.
I don't have Brunhild, so I can't.
She stands behind. She stands behind.
You just don't use Skald or Norn.
You can't use him because she stands behind him.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I think we've covered the topic of them introducing things too quickly, and I believe that we are pretty much on the same page. Do you guys have anything else you wanted to add to it, or you're all good?
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm good.
Alright, well, and with that, if you like the video, please like the video. If you like this type of content, please subscribe. If you aren't already involved in the Valkyrie Connect community, I'll provide a link to the Discord and Reddit below. And until next time, guys, take care.